Hello, everyone. Welcome to the network. Welcome to the Two Dads edition.
Wait, that's not it.
Start again.
Two Dads, Gen X edition. That's a great beginning.
Okay. Hey! This is Two Dads Gen X edition. I am Dawson.
And I am James.
And we'd like to welcome you to our wonderful show about everything.
Everything.
If you love our voices, what should they do?
They should go and check us out on YouTube and look at our pretty faces.
Hit that like and subscribe.
Follow us.
And James, you know what? I think we should start this off with a nice dad joke.
A dad joke?
Yeah.
Like what kind of dad joke?
The one you just told.
Oh, the one about how much calcium's in a kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough to make a bone about so long.
Boom! Shakalaka-laka!
Yeah.
Hey, tell your friends to follow us.
Yeah,
like,
if you like it,
subscribe,
share it, spread the love.
and let's Two Dads this stuff. Do you have a toe fetish?
No, I do not have a toe fetish.
Me neither.
So I have sucked on toes.
Why? It's so
There's washed. They were washed.
That's true. You didn't suck penises. You just did toes.
Just toes. But
Was it a guy
they're very
toe?
sensitive.
Was it a guy?
It was Rachel, my first wife. There's a lot of nerve endings, kind of like the fingertips.
So did you ever... Which toe was it? The big one or the little one?
No, I did them all.
Toe? Did you glide your tongue through the toes?
I'm not going to eat somebody's ass, but I'll suck on toes.
Yeah.
You can't respond to that one. You revealed that one when we had Vanessa on.
That's funny.
At least toes can be washed and you don't have to worry about them leaking.
Well, they can leak. I mean, they can have fucking pus or shit on there or some
They
toe
could,
fungus.
but usually you'll be able to see that,
Not necessarily. I mean, have you ever done the Eddie Murphy from Boomerang? Wait, I don't know that. He would try to fuck. He'd fuck girls, but afterwards he'd pull the sheets up and see how their feet looked.
I don't remember that part of it.
He'd dump them if they were nasty.
Oh gosh!
And I think is it Cedric or maybe I don't remember where the actor was.
So Rachel was a stylist, and so she would do pedicures and manicures on herself all the time, and so it was
as in clean.
And she shaved everything, and so she was smooth everywhere.
What is with the fetish
with the bow? Are we recording? Because that actually would have been a great intro. Okay, good. I don't know. I don't know what the foot fetish is. Our producer just asked what's the deal with the foot fetish.
It wasn't like a fetish as far as oh, I want to suck on your toes. It was just kind of we're playing around. It's all right, let's give it a shot. See if we like it.
Well, I mean, technically, every organ has pressure points in the feet.
In the feet, yeah.
And so, depending on where you do it, I don't remember the map of what toe it is, but I think there is some sexual spots.
Erogenous zones.
Why am I saying it so
I don't know.
kindergarten version? Technically, there's a vagina spot, a penis spot, or whatever. I don't know. But supposedly it stimulates that. But I mean,
that. You're a nurse, so you know about the human body and all that kind of stuff. But it's the nerve endings. When you stimulate nerve endings, when somebody's already aroused, and then you stimulate different nerve endings, it can create a more fulfilling orgasm.
Well, that's the whole licking the asshole thing.
That's just not an area I'm willing to go. Yeah, that's what people say.
But
I've never experienced that.
You need to lift your legs up more and be trying to in the bed have your legs up and have your toes touching the back.
That's just not.
Can your back do that with all the surgeries? I mean, can you reverse frog leg and have her lift your ass?
I'm not
reach
gonna
around.
Just because I can doesn't mean I will.
Well, that kind of goes in what we're talking about. Boundaries.
That's how you lead into boundaries.
Licking your ass is a boundary. No,
I can't do that.
Now,
nor
is
do
that
I want
an unhealthy
to.
boundary?
That's
or
like
a
your
healthy
elbow.
boundary?
You can't lick your elbow.
Yeah, I was going to try. You knew I was. I was going to be Jason's
no, I'm telling you that is
I've seen
it's a boundary, but I'm not going to
so you'll lick toes, you'll lick elbows,
yeah,
you'll lick ears.
Oh yeah.
Jai.
What? What's the jai?
Vagina.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Vajiji, whatever they call it. I forgot what that nickname is.
But not an ass. Nope.
Kneecaps.
Brown-eyed monster does not go in this mouth.
Kneecaps.
Yeah.
Knee pits.
Everywhere except that.
Eyeballs? You look eyeballs?
Well, no.
Nostrils.
No.
So you have some boundaries.
I have some. This is not how we're leading into this episode.
I think it's a great way.
No,
to
that
lead
is
into
not.
and this is literally how we're going in. Okay, so we're going to talk about boundaries. Obviously, we mentioned that in the last episode.
Yeah, but those are like, we're talking about like emotional boundaries and stuff that we do in our, not sexual boundaries.
Those can be emotional too. 100% can be emotional. I mean, I had a girl I really liked, and she's like, "Will you pee on me?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, not going to do that either. Nope.
You know, I mean, Vanessa. I mean,
to me that is a
she surprised that guy looking at his
trauma.
asshole, and he was like, "Wow, never had that before."
Yeah,
Rocking
but like,
the world.
there are certain boundaries where it's like, when this is where my mind goes. If somebody wants to do certain things, or that's what they crave, that's what they get turned on by, it can be an indication of serious trauma.
Generally, yeah.
I'm not trying to take advantage of somebody's trauma.
They were pegged.
So I had a pair of clients. There's a couple that I saw. I saw him, and then I saw them as a couple. And I was doing
each other.
No.
Okay.
Therapeutically.
Well, I don't know if you're doing sex therapy too.
No, I have broached that subject with a couple clients here and there, but not.
You're like,
yeah. Just,
let me make this easier. Here's a Kama Sutra book. Try it.
No, but my general is like, if you're in a committed relationship, everything is on the table as long as it's not illegal or involves another person. You can do whatever you want.
Or animals.
But as soon as somebody says, I'm not comfortable with it, you stop, because now you're that's a boundary, right?
Yeah. What's your safety word?
I don't have a safety word. I'm not with anybody.
What was your safety word in the past?
I didn't have one.
Jolly Rogers?
No.
Jolly Rogers!
Is that yours?
Jolly Rogers, don't lick my ass! No means no!
Oh my gosh. No, but so it was kind of funny because she I had an individual session with her, and she was like, Can I tell you something? I'm like, well, yeah, of course. She's like, my husband likes to be pegged. And I'm like, and he was a Marine, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. But she had never told anybody, and she's like, is that normal? And I was like, some people like it, some people don't. You know, it's not abnormal in the sense that there are a lot of people that do. But if he likes it and you're comfortable with it, go for it.
Then it's a healthy bedroom boundary.
That's the thing. So so healthy boundaries. Man, that is quite an intro to an episode.
So
are we actually going to use that?
Yeah. We're still going right now.
All right. We'll use it. Okay, we won't edit it out.
No. I mean, it's great.
My kids listen to this sometime.
Well, I know.
They're all adults, but
I mean,
Jolly Roger.
that's your new safe word. Jolly Roger.
All right.
Mine's Batman. Batman. Not really. I don't have one yet.
Yeah. I haven't needed one yet. Just besides stop. That's my safe word, I guess. Stop.
Stop. No.
No is my safe word. Yeah.
My mom asked me once when I was younger.
Your mom asked you about a safe word?
No.
Oh, okay.
But she goes, what part of no do you not understand? I go, honestly, the hole in the O really fucking throws me through a loop. And she's like, shut up.
Yeah, she's like, I have failed as a parent.
It made her laugh down.
My goodness.
Broke the tension.
That would, yeah.
All right, so
okay.
Boundaries. Okay, so you're saying
right,
not the sexual in the bedroom boundaries. I mean,
yeah, I mean, we can. That could be another episode for another time.
I mean, it kind of goes into it. I mean, you get in a relationship, and the whole goal of a relationship is you grow with somebody, you build with somebody, you don't lose anything. I mean, we all do lose a little bit of what we are because we're adjusting.
No. We should not lose who we are.
No, I didn't say it. Just a little, like you're changing.
No.
Okay, if you're a selfish piece of shit that only wants to eat when you want to eat.
We should grow as an individual. It doesn't mean we're losing anything.
Okay, it's good clarification.
Yeah. If it's a healthy relationship, a good relationship, then we are growing in that relationship. We don't lose parts of ourselves. That's part of the problem that people have in relationships. They think they have to lose things.
Or they
become the nice guy.
Yeah. Well,
the nice guy syndrome.
What's that?
So the nice guy syndrome, there's a book out there called No More Mr. Nice Guy, which is not an excuse to be an asshole.
Oh, you said dick last time.
I did, but we're editing it. So there's a book out there called No More Mr. Nice Guy, which is not an excuse to be a dick. Happy?
No.
But it does talk about the nice guy syndrome. And so like after I read that book, looking back at my first marriage, I was totally the nice guy. In the sense that, the nice guy syndrome is like when your partner or your spouse is like, hey, I don't like this thing about you. I don't like this behavior that you did. And you're like, all right, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to try and change it. And so you work on trying to change it, right? And then there's another thing that they complain about. And you're like, okay, I'll work on that too. And so you work on these things that they're bringing up because you want them to be happy, right?
Yeah.
And then they still aren't happy. And they're still complaining about other stuff. And so you're like, all right, so I'm gonna keep on working on stuff. And then it gets to be years down the road and you've lost parts of who you are. You've done all these things hoping that they would be happy and accept you now and love you.
Yeah.
But then they don't. They're still angry. They're still hurt. They're still
I fell out of love
complaining.
with you because you're not the man I married. Well,
right.
Shit.
And that's part of the problem is that
changed to make you happy.
Well,
you're the one that was miserable.
Well, and a lot of times it's like they're complaining about these things because they want to change you into who they want you to be, but then you change who you are, which is who they fell in love with, and so they're not happy anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's like the nice guy syndrome is this process where we lose ourselves trying to give our partners what they're asking for because we're being nice, and then we become resentful because all the effort is being ignored because they're constantly complaining. And I remember conversations with my first wife where it was like, she would complain about stuff and I'd say, I've been working on that. Haven't you, don't you recognize that I'm working on it? Haven't you seen any changes? And she'd be like, well, yeah, I do see that you're making changes and that's good, but
it's not good enough.
Yeah. And so towards the end, when we were going through the divorce, one of the things that I realized was like, I had totally lost connection with who I am.
Yeah. I got to the point where I didn't even recognize who I was. And a lot of I literally had 3 personalities almost. I had my school personality, my work personality, and my home personality.
Yeah.
And even at home, I had kind of 2. I had the safeguard from more trauma and be the one that would take the abuse. And so that way the kids never got it. And or just survive the day. And it was much worse with the second because I'd come home and literally just start drinking just to cope with being yelled at.
Right.
Told I'm a piece of shit. I don't do enough. I work too much. If I loved her, I wouldn't work so much. If I loved her, I would work the same days she worked, but she purposely would pick the days that I'd have my kids.
It's like, kind of you work too much. You don't love me because you're not home with me all the time. And then you're home more. And they're like, you don't make enough money. You need to go work more. Yeah. And it's this manipulative thing that happens. I don't think it's intentional all the time. But it's a learned behavior, I think, mostly. But that resentment that happens, it's because we've ignored our healthy boundaries. We're not holding healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
They're not holding healthy boundaries.
You think those people do that because they were raised to never be good enough? They were made to feel not good enough, so then they project that onto you.
I think in large part it is a learned behavior.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things where I'm just like, with my ex-wife, it was always, well, I'd be more in the mood to be intimate or spend time with you if you did this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So
it's a manipulation.
So then I do it for 2 weeks. I was like, okay, hey, can we go do this? Well, honestly, if you could do this and this, then maybe I could come home and relax. And really, I think boiled down to it was just she never really told me what she actually wanted for herself.
Yeah.
And it really had nothing to do with me. It's just she wasn't happy with who she was, where she was working, really coming home, getting jumped by the kids, where most people love that. At the time, she didn't because she wasn't happy. She was miserable. And which I was miserable, and then it just made things worse, and we just really didn't have active listening. We didn't have truly allowing. I mean, we really did try to change to who we thought
the expectation
they wanted,
of what,
kind of thing. When really we both should have just embraced who we were and what we loved about each other and why we fell in love. And, and I joke saying never really did, but it's just one of those things. So I did learn a lot of those lessons, how to build those boundaries and what to stick for. But man, I still back then I don't want to be mad because the bad was bad.
Yeah.
And I did that throughout. And it's so weird that we did talk about this. It's like when I actually have a healthy relationship, it's weird when that person respects your boundaries. It's like, oh shit, they actually respect that. Oh, they're actually grateful for what I do.
And the thing is like everybody has boundaries. We all have the boundaries. And sometimes what we think are healthy boundaries are actually really unhealthy because of the way that we're implementing boundaries. So there's
So what's the difference between unhealthy and unhealthy?
An unhealthy boundary, we'll start there. The unhealthy boundaries are where we are too rigid. We are unwilling to bend, unwilling to accept somebody else's perspective or anything like that. Doesn't mean that we change what we're doing, but if we are refusing to listen to anybody, that's an unhealthy boundary.
Yeah.
Or conversely, we are way too easy about changing those boundaries. That can be very unhealthy too.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much not having boundaries.
And so but those are unhealthy boundaries. So it's not that we're unwilling to have boundaries. That is a unhealthy boundary.
Like you not letting someone lick your ass.
No, I think that's a very healthy one. So
or pegged. Apparently that's what it is.
So when the boundaries or the lack of healthy boundaries, the result of that often is that we might be physically harmed by somebody if we allow abuse, right? We allow physical abuse, we allow emotional abuse, we allow verbal abuse. Our boundaries are not healthy. We have the boundary, but the boundary is to let them do what they're doing.
Well, and right? I think sometimes with that kind of boundary or unhealthiness to cope with it, I think people feel trapped.
Yep.
They feel scared.
Yep.
They don't know how to set those boundaries because when they do try to set them, that person gets worse and makes them feel shitty for having a boundary.
Yeah.
Like a really eye-opening one for me because I will not put up with abuse.
Yeah.
Physical abuse. I mean, my ex one time did something and I think I went to go to defend myself and she fell on top of the dishwasher and she almost landed on knives. And that was like a big aha moment for both of us that were like, oh shit, oh my God, I can't believe we both did that. Like you came at me, I tried to defend myself. And so I was like, holy crap. But like the one, and that was just one of those like accidental things because the dishwasher was out and it was like, I don't know. But the one that actually just surprised me is, with one of my exes, we were out with friends all day. We in the sun, drinking, and then I, got late, and we were all in the cul-de-sac hanging out, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get the stuff." And she's like, "Okay," and she was passing out. So I'm out there grabbing all the stuff. Well, then I went into AFib, couldn't breathe, got dizzy. Another nurse was there. It's like, "Oh, lay down, lay down." Everybody's like, "Oh, dude, are you okay? You okay?" And I'm like, "I can't breathe. So they're getting ready to call 911.
Right, yeah.
And then the nurse is over me, and from the window, it looked like she was leaning down and kissing me on the ground, is what she claimed.
Gotcha.
And suddenly you hear the door fly open, and it's like, you motherfucker, no. Comes in and just starts kicking me as hard as she can in the chest. Yeah. The funny thing is she cardioverted me by doing that. But everybody's like, whoa, what the hell, dude? And like our neighbor grabbed her and threw her down and he's like, you fucking hit him again, I'm calling the cops on you, man.
Yeah.
And my first thought is like how embarrassing it was and how like appalled I felt that happened in front of our friends. And I was like, oh my God, like I felt bad that it happened to me, but it's like, oh my God, I made her look so bad by being on the ground. And and I just, it was just a weird horrible thought. And then I did catch myself going, wait, hold on a second, man. This motherfucker
Right.
came out and started, if I did that to her,
Yeah.
I would expect her to leave me.
One of the ways that we can tell if a boundary is a healthy boundary or not, if we reverse roles, does our opinion about it change?
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's actually, I started doing that after her. And I did the stupid fucking shit people do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you start making excuses for them. You start making.
That's a good sign
Well,
of an unhealthy boundary.
They've never done that before. This is a weird circumstance. You know, a lot of
Right.
She
We
drank
excuse
a lot.
behavior.
You know, she claimed this, and I said that morning though I did set a boundary, which I didn't follow through down the road because she fucking beat me up in my sleep one time because I snored too loud. But
What a wonderful person.
I told her, I'm like, if you fucking do it again, I'll call the fucking cops, and I have no problem having you fucking arrested and throwing your kids into fucking foster homes and losing everything, because I will not fucking take abuse from a partner. And just like I expect the same thing.
And the thing is like, it got to that point. The nice guy syndrome. It's like we are trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, and then all of a sudden we get to this place where it's like, it seems like we're reacting into the extreme.
Yeah.
No, we finally got to that point where it's like, okay, this is enough. I'm not going to do this anymore. And so with healthy boundaries, because we talked about unhealthy boundaries, right?
Yeah.
Healthy boundaries are clear. They are the same. They're consistent. You know, so it's not like 2 weeks later, you don't know what to expect because the boundary changed. No, it's a consistent boundary. And so they what did you type in there?
You can get pegged.
What is this fascination with being pegged, Jason? It's distracting. All right, so editing.
No, that's good to be in there.
Oh my goodness. But the healthy boundaries, when we have healthy boundaries, what we're doing is we're allowing ourselves autonomy. We're allowing others autonomy. We're being respectful with ourselves and others. It maintains our physical, psychological, and emotional well-being.
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of people that have put in place boundaries that are super, super rigid for that purpose. But because they are so rigid, it's actually an unhealthy boundary. And so one of the things that we have to make sure that we're doing is that we are evaluating our boundaries on a regular basis. We're looking at them. And so one of the ways that we can tell if somebody respects us or not is they will challenge our boundary.
Yeah.
But sometimes when we bump up against somebody else's boundaries that they are holding for themselves, it can feel like that. And so every time we start wondering, is this something that's healthy or not? That's a chance to evaluate, right? Because if I'm, married to somebody, or I'm in a really good relationship with somebody and they get hurt by something or offended by something that I think is a healthy boundary, but their reaction shows me that they're hurt. Well, because I care about them, I don't want them to be hurt. It doesn't mean that I default to doing what they want, because that becomes potentially an unhealthy boundary, but it becomes an opportunity for us to communicate and talk, and then for me to evaluate that boundary of, okay, is this something that I need to adjust? And so I'm not getting rid of a boundary, I'm adjusting a boundary, because we need to evaluate them and change them periodically. One of the things that I didn't do, it tried to. So first marriage, one of the things that she would do is she would use affection as a tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like if I did something she didn't like, then she wouldn't hold my hand. She wouldn't kiss me. She wouldn't, it was like I was kind of being punished until I apologized, and then I would get affection again.
Yeah.
Very, very manipulative. It's a horrible thing to do in a relationship, I think, because the physical affection, and not sex, but physical affection, is such a deeply personal thing, especially for men,
and women too.
But like, again, this is from our perspective. And so I started challenging that. And when I would challenge that, when I'd want to talk about that, and we'd have the conversation, if it didn't go the way she wanted, she would just say, I'm done. I'm done with this conversation. She'd turn around and walk away. So I was trying to change this dynamic, change this boundary, and I got shut down. And it happened many times.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's been a lot of studies about that. When women start using sex and affection as a punishment reward,
Yeah.
they actually lose that actual intimacy concept themselves subconsciously.
Right.
And then it also becomes a punishment reward for them. And then you basically lose the whole point of a relationship. I mean,
well, you create a transactional relationship, which means that
it's over.
The potential of the relationship is done.
Yeah.
It's now transactional.
Yeah. And it's, and I've had both those worlds where it's like, yeah, fuck that. I mean, I don't think people realize. I know people know how hard rejection is and how much it hurts and demoralizes, but I don't think women really truly understand how much it affects the male psyche and how much it really does affect them. Just kind of like when a guy promises to do something
and doesn't, and then they can't be trusted.
And then, the wife loses or the person loses trust in them, or they are no longer dependable, which then they don't feel loved, they don't feel respected, and it just kind of goes through these things. Now, healthy boundaries, I think I've gotten better at verbalizing them as a nurse because I have to set boundaries with patients. Right. So if I have somebody in for drug seeking, or have a homeless person that generally, oh, fuck you, go get my shit, whatever. That's the first thing I have to do is go, hold on, dude. No, we're not doing that. I go, I set the boundary right there. I go, I'll respect you if you respect me. You're not going to boss me around. I'm not your slave. I'm not your little bitch.
Yeah.
I go, I am here to help take care of you and help you get better. I'm not your little bitch. I go, so treat me like somebody that works in the hospital. I don't work for you.
Right.
Kind of thing. And
how do they respond?
I'd say 99% of the time they are like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But like with the pain meds, I have someone that's in there drug seeking, or let's say, they do have really bad pain and stuff like that, and they're just really struggling, and they have some addiction, but not like full on kind of thing. I have learned, I put the time on the board when they can have it again, and I flat out say, hey, we're not going to have you push the call light 15 times to remind me to come bring your meds. I go, that just distracts. It takes away from other patients. Right. I go, there's no reason for it. I go, I will bring your pain med in when you can have it. I go, you won't even have to ask. I go, I only ask one thing, that I have a 5-10 minute leeway in case I am and it's someone else. And I promise you that I will be in at that time.
Yeah.
And I always withhold it. And usually it takes 1 or 2 doses for them to, okay, cool, this guy actually fucking
follows through.
And I can trust him and believe him. And there's been times in I'll go in a room, let's say it's like 40 minutes before I can give the med. I'll go in there and go, hey, I'm going in this other room. I got to do a couple things, so it's going to be really tight, but I will be
communicating.
Back. Right.
Yeah.
That's how I maintain that healthy boundary with my client or my patients. And I've learned to do that in real life. So, the last person I dated, it was interesting because I would set boundaries and I would be verbal. I'm like, hey, I really don't like how you approach that. I go, I'm not comfortable with that. Ideally this is what I would like to see happen. And yeah, totally. And then the day later they're like, would totally push it on purpose.
Right.
And it's like, wow,
right.
Did you misunderstand? No, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like that erodes the trust.
Yeah.
And when people are doing that, what they're effectively saying is that they don't respect you. Right.
Yeah.
So one of the worst examples that I've ever seen was early on in my career as a therapist, where I saw this couple. They'd been together for 14, 15 years or so. They had 2 kids. They were never married. That's neither here nor there, but they'd been together for like 14, 15 years. He cheated with the secretary at work and moved out. She kicked him out, so he moved out. Couple months later, the secretary and he were still seeing each other, and so she moved in with him. When she found that out, she threatened that he would never see his kids if he didn't get rid of her and if he didn't move back in. So couple months after they had moved in together, she moved out, and she was still, the partner was, or the mom of the kids was still threatening that he would never see his kids, and so he moved back into the house. That's about the time that they saw me.
Yeah, nice.
And so one of the things, and I saw them probably for about 2 months, like 5 or 6 sessions. Every single time, everything he had done wrong, everything he was doing wrong, he didn't do this, he didn't, it was like, and it would get loud. And I'm in this practice where they didn't have a lot of sound deadening. So I'm like, I told her, I said, look, if it's going to get, and I say this to couples, if it gets loud, I'm going to tell you when you need to be quiet down, because there's other offices here, there's other therapy that's going on, and we need to be respectful of that. They're always good with it. I set a boundary. But she would, every single session, 2 or 3 times, I was like, stop, you've got to quiet down, and it was like venomous.
Yeah.
And so finally we're at this like 5th or 6th session, and she was talking about all these things that she demanded he do, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so I said, okay, hold on. Cause it was just, the last 2-3 sessions, it was just the same thing being recycled every time. And so finally I'm like, all right, so you've asked them to do this. Like, you always have access to his phone whenever you want. And I turned to him and I said, does she have access to your phone whenever she wants? Yes. And you've asked for, you always, you can always check his emails. Does she check your emails? Yes. And this. And so I went through all of the things that she had said that she needed for her to be able to trust him and forgive him. And I was like, so how long have these things been in place? Well, they've been in place for months. And it's like, okay, so he's done everything that you have asked him to do. Can you forgive him and can you trust him? What is it enough yet? And she was like, well, and then she just attacked again, and it was getting just bitter and angry. And I'm like, all right, hold on. I said, what it sounds like to me is that you were really, really hurt by what happened, and you're really, really angry, and that you're not going to be satisfied until he has suffered enough for you to be satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that accurate? And she kind of didn't really know what to say because she was just angry.
Yeah.
And I turned to him and I said, how long do you plan on putting up with that?
Yeah, that's a valid question. It's like, how
his eyes for the first time brightened because somebody saw it.
Yeah.
Somebody saw it for what it was.
Yeah.
They didn't come back after that.
Well, yeah, because you called her out.
I challenged her.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where it's like, okay, he violated a boundary. He violated the relationship, all this other stuff. Got it. You're angry. Got it. He has done all of these things. And he, like the entire time, all the sessions, he looked like just a beaten dog.
Yeah.
Apologizing all the time. Just a shell. Until somebody said, that's not okay. And then he was able to actually like start feeling some sense of himself again, because where he had been trying to appease and trying to, seek this forgiveness because he was being threatened all the time, basically, and being told all the things he was doing wrong all the time, he was being the nice guy.
Yeah. Well, I think in those situations, people put up with more and the abuse because they feel guilty and they're actually sorry. I think the one thing is if you have a partner that doesn't give a shit and doesn't feel sorry and they're not doing all these things to, make amends and truly figure out, okay, why did we cheat? Why did this happen? Did he cheat because she had been doing this to him the whole time and he felt worthless, and then someone recognized him and kind of thing.
And somebody was actually showing him kindness and was listening, and
And instead of doing that, you learn over time and mistakes that it's like, oh, I should have gone to therapy sooner. We should have worked on this sooner, and we should have actually had.
It doesn't excuse the behavior.
Right. Not at all.
I've been cheated on. Yeah. It hurts, but it doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Yeah.
There are sometimes people where they cheat because they are just dissatisfied with their lives and they just are seeking something.
Yeah.
And it's not their partner's fault.
Well, and that's why
sometimes it's the the relationship is just going so horribly, and our society is like, oh, well, you should be happy. You deserve to be happy. And it excuses that kind of behavior.
Well, and sometimes you have friends that they're single and they're living the life and they're like, oh, you shouldn't have to put up with that. You shouldn't have to do this.
That
you
happens
should
a
have
lot.
to do that.
Yep.
And they start letting their friends or social media influence their relationship. And it's just, we have a friend that we asked him, like, hey, what's the secret to your longevity? And he goes, well, I never talk bad about my wife to anybody else.
Good boundary.
Except for my therapist.
Right.
And he goes, and even then I don't talk bad about her. I just say, hey, she did this and it hurt me. So it's like, oh, so
it's
healthy communication. Healthy communication.
Right.
And he goes, and she does the same. She never talks bad about me to her friends. And it's like, we always come to each other to solve our problems, because people forget it's not you and your spouse against the world. It's you guys against the world. You're a team that is against all this noise in the world, and it's so easy to lose that. And I think when you don't have the boundaries, and I do think you have to have couple boundaries, and
absolutely,
it's like, hey, this person's really toxic, and I've noticed that anytime we go out with them, we get in a fight, we have issues. And that's one thing with my ex is like, I don't want to go out with that couple anymore, because every time we do, we have a fight, because they're bitching about their lives to us, and you defend her, or I defend her, you defend him, vice versa. And then we're both mad at each other because of their shit.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck are we doing? So it's like, I don't want that toxicity in my life. And that's one thing. After her, I had to set, like, I fell off bad, like I didn't want to go out. I was depressed. I didn't want to go out. I was spending too much money. I spent $6,000 a month on an Airbnb because I could only find one that would allow a dog. Mm-hmm. And so I thought about getting rid of my dog. I thought about all this stuff. And I fell in a hole of two people that were just as fucking miserable. And we kept going and doing these things. And I got to the point where, like, and I talked about this earlier, I'm like, I either stop playing the victim and take responsibility for what my life is right now and clean it up, and basically say, look, I've got to set boundaries. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to do that thing. I don't want to go with that person. And to the point that I actually found that I was cleaning up my life to be more like our last episode, with my being more mentally strong, physically strong, and spiritually strong.
And if we have healthy boundaries, that becomes the direction that we go. Yeah. We are becoming more spiritually, physically, and emotionally and mentally strong, because we are doing things that are actually good for us. If we're in a healthy relationship, that person is going to support that, just like you're going to support them with their healthy boundaries. No is a complete sentence. Yeah. It is okay to say no.
It is.
If you say no and the other person is like offended and how dare you, then you may need to reevaluate the kind of relationship that you're in, because when somebody basically like objects to your boundaries and tries to get you to shut your boundaries down, make you a doormat, they don't respect you. Yeah. And when we have healthy boundaries, right? Not unhealthy boundaries, but healthy boundaries, what we're really telling people is, I love myself too much to allow you to walk all over me. Well, and so I'm not going to do these things because I'm not going to allow that in my life. One of the things that I won't do is, like, when it comes to any kind of relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, friendship, whatever.
I know, we know no pegging, no ass licking.
Right. Along those lines too, is if somebody's toxic and I recognize that they're toxic, I will be friendly with them, but I'm going to create a separation, because I don't want that in my life. I've been around that. I've been married to that. And so it's like, I'm going to clean up my life so that I have the opportunity to be as healthy as possible, so that I can be the best version of myself. Because when we have healthy boundaries, we are actually building ourselves in a healthy way. Yeah. If our partner has healthy boundaries, and the relationship is healthy, we are building each other in healthy ways. But when the relationship is failing, sometimes we just need to course correct, right? Yeah. It doesn't mean the relationship's bad or unhealthy or toxic. But if we try and do those course corrections and it's being resisted or it's being challenged, and we're trying to find those healthy processes, okay, we need to reevaluate that.
Yeah.
Not to try and fix them, but so that we can heal too.
Yeah, the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really kind of just blows my mind because that movie Hall Pass,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and where the therapist recognizes that the wife's unhappy, but she's saying he's unhappy.
Yeah.
And so she goes, yeah, give him a hall pass. She's like, what? Give him a hall pass. The great thing is with this one, it truly was, you know, the wife felt like he needed to sleep with someone, that he wanted to sleep with someone. And the funny thing is she was like putting it in his head. And he's like, I don't know, do I? I mean, I don't think I'm unhappy. Like, I feel like I'm pretty happy kind of thing. But they had the other couple that wasn't unhappy, that didn't have healthy boundaries, that she definitely wanted to cheat and he kind of did kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so the therapist did recognize, let's play a game, give him a hall pass. You get one too. Let's see what happens. And the great thing is the couple that had healthy boundaries, but just kind of got lost with the world of raising kids and work and probably just were less intimate, you know, and we're saying goodbye, I love you, kiss goodbye, kiss hello, you know, small things, thank yous. It was nice because you do see that side of it where they both are like, fuck that, I don't want this. I want my wife. I want this.
It helped them realize that they wanted the connection that they had.
Yeah. And the great thing is it really helped her open her eyes of, fuck, I'm the unhappy one.
Yeah.
I go, he's blindly. And then the sad thing is there's a lot of, not sad thing, the good thing is there's a lot of men that are truly happy with their spouse and their life, and they do want a happy wife, happy life, you know, kind of thing. And they have great boundaries, and they tease and joke. And I've seen so many things in the last couple weeks of, you know, couples that joke together and kind of tease each other about the stuff that their own little idiocies. They joke about it, and they don't make fun, but they joke with each other about it. And you know, they cook together, or they go on a walk together. You know, they do something that's independent and
build the relationship. Yeah.
The one thing I love, you know, with us is I kind of set a hard boundary. Is like, hey, if we're going to dinner, phones go away. Because
we have not made that boundary. That is not a boundary you made with us. I know you're talking about Sydney.
and the great thing is to see the response of that is like, that's awesome. You know, and it just I felt respected by saying, hey, like I really just, and I didn't say I demand this. I go, hey, I'd love to throw this out there. When we go to dinner, let's just leave our phones. Or there's times I just don't even bring it. And she's like, oh, you forgot your phone. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I go, my whole focus is to spend time with you and be with you, because that was my problem in my other relationships. Because it would suck so fucking bad to be at dinner and just be sitting there staring at her on her phone, all the time. You know, and it's just like, dude, I mean, I'm not married to a fucking phone. I'm married, you know, married to you. I'm married to, or I'm dating this. I'm dating that. It's like I don't want to date a fucking phone. Yeah,
one of the things that it really bothered me a lot. It only happened a couple times, but it was a huge thing, and I don't think my second wife realized this, but because I wanted to support her and her family, you know, interactions and all kind of stuff. But like, I'd call her on the way home from work, say, hey, I'm on my way home. I'll see you in a little bit. And then she'd say, oh, I'm an hour and a half away from Sedalia or from Wichita, where she had a couple sisters that live in those places. And she's like, oh yeah, they were really stressed out. And I said I could come down and help. And so I went down to go help. And I'm like, did you want to talk to me? Not that I need to approve that kind of thing, but it's like, you just left without letting me know, hey, my sister's struggling a little bit. I want to go down there and just help out for a day or two. You cool with that? No communication about that at all. I found out on my way home after work at like 7:00 at night that she's already an hour and a half away. To me, that was a major boundary issue.
Well, yeah, that's
major boundary issue.
It's so funny because you know, I've seen relationships where they're like, you're not considerate. You don't think of me. You didn't even think that maybe I wanted this or I wanted. So you just go and get a drink with your friends. You don't tell me after work.
Right.
You
And it's
know?
not about getting permission or not permission. It's just about communicating.
Yeah. And it's one of those
Respecting
things.
each other's time and
I joke,
Yeah.
you know, there's times I had a friend that he was single for, God, I think he was like 40 before he finally met somebody, and he had a hard time because he had so used to like get off work, go have a beer, come home,
yeah.
you know, kind of thing. And she's like, dude, I made dinner. Like I time it to where you come home. And he's
Mhm.
like, well, I didn't ask you to do that. So
Right.
then she's like, hey, fuck you. And so then she stopped doing that for him. You
Yeah.
know? And then he'd come home like, hey, why didn't you cook dinner? And it's like, cause you want to go out with your friends and stuff. When really she could have just said, hey, I don't know how their relationship was, but it was eye opening for him down the road. He
Mhm.
said he was literally at one of the bars and the bartender is like, well, you don't like your home? He's like, what? Because you don't like going home or something?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I love going home. I love my wife, man. I love spending time with her. He goes, then why the fuck are you here?
Right.
And he's like, that's a good question.
And yeah, and sometimes we don't.
And he started
that's the
going
thing,
home
is, like,
after that. But that was him learning to how to be in a relationship.
he didn't
kind of thing.
realize
Yeah.
the boundary issues, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so with all of it, it's, you know, again, it's about discovering, you know, establishing and reinforcing our healthy boundaries and identifying what's not working for us, what's not healthy. Sometimes it's the other person that we realize is not healthy for us.
Yeah.
And the boundary needs to be,
There.
we're not in this relationship anymore. But we have to be able to recognize what we need, what is actually healthy for us, what they need, what's healthy for them, and see if that's something that we can build together or not. But that's, you know,
Yeah. Well, and I think as you get older and you start, you know, dating again, I think where the unhealthy boundaries come in is when people are getting too locked into they must fit these pegs,
Right.
And the I
pegs.
said peg, no pun intended. Square hole and you know a round peg and a round hole kind of thing, where they're
Yeah.
trying to like, well, they're too square for me, they can't fit in my round hole. And I'm like, well, there's Dremels. I mean, we can adjust things.
Yeah,
That's like the worst
I think
analogy, guys. I'm so sorry.
It really is a bad one. It really is. No, but I think the point though that you're making is a good one in the sense that, like, you know, we really need to be able to give time to allow for, you know, if we're too rigid, that we reject everything outright that doesn't fit our mold.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning, we're never going to grow.
Yeah.
We're never going to learn. We're never going to become, and we're never going to find the thing that's actually going to help us become the better version of ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
I think to have healthy boundaries, I mean, you nailed it when you said to truly understand a boundary, you flip it.
Yeah.
Change the point of view.
Perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. And say, okay, they have this boundary. Do I think it's okay? And I was like, if it was reversed, would I be, you know, would I have the same boundary, or do I understand it? And I think that honestly, if you respect the person you're with, you should be doing that. And you're like,
yeah,
you know, it's like, so if they're like somebody that was
seeing things from their perspective, so that you can gain greater understanding.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a great thing. That's how relationships get better, people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's always good to sit down and set your boundaries. You know, I'll put that book in there again. You know,
the No More Mr. Nice Guy, and I think it's beneficial for both men and women. I don't agree with everything in the book, but I think the overall premise is great. But the healthy boundaries, developing healthy boundaries, it's a continuous process.
Yeah.
I've never been 48 before. I've never been 50 before. You know, I'm a grandfather now, but I've never been a grandfather, you know, of teenagers. And so it's like, as life continues and life changes, which is a constant thing, we are going to need to reevaluate to see if our boundaries are still effective for us, still healthy.
Yeah.
You know, as new experiences happen.
And I think one thing that single parents have to do too is they have to set boundaries with your fucking kids too.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, I've seen these.
That's probably a really good episode to do.
Honestly, we should do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think kids are selfish. I mean, and I'm not saying mine are, but I mean, all kids are, because you're all self-centered and your world revolves around you, and they forget that.
Well, they haven't learned differently yet.
Yeah,
our job is to teach them,
and then they forget that they're not the center of the world. They're not thing. And I think the great thing is there's times that, as a parent, you're hard on your kid, so they learn the lessons of life where they don't get traumatized down the road. Because I think the difference between, I want to say, liberals and conservatives in general is we know the Earth is not fair. Nothing's fair.
No.
Everything's unfair. And either are you going to be a victim, or are you going to be a person that grabs the bull by the horns and fucking make the best of it?
Yeah,
and
one of the things I taught my kids is you can either have equality or you can have things that are fair, but you can't have both.
Can't.
It's impossible.
Nope, because the world's not like that. And so I think that, learning to set your healthy boundaries and understanding what is healthy and adjusting accordingly, I think that's the other thing people fail at, and I know I did for a long time, is as you get older and as
you
life
didn't
change.
fail. You were learning.
Well, I think I did.
Sometimes you had to have experiences that taught you
That's true.
and me, but you're growing.
Yeah.
You're learning. That's what's important, is that we're learning and we're growing. We're getting better. We're improving. We're doing more. As we struggle, everybody's going to struggle. Are we learning from the struggle or not? Or are we repeating old patterns?
Yeah, and I think that's what I would used to do is I didn't really set clear boundaries, and I allowed to be rolled over a lot, and I was made to feel that if I didn't roll over, then I wasn't a good spouse. I wasn't a good friend. I wasn't a good whatever. Yeah. And it really took, I mean, honestly, that second relationship to really discover what's unacceptable and what I'm not going to do. And so when I got into the third, I was just like,
nope,
fuck this. No, I'm not dealing with this crap. I'm not dealing with this crap.
Yep.
And I think it really got me to a place that I was a healthier, better person. When Sydney came into my life, I actually recognized
you were ready for it.
Positive, and it's awesome. Like, it just keeps growing, and
I get it. You found a great one.
You'll get there. You know.
All right, man.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Stay classy, Kansas City.
Join us next week when we talk about Halloween then and now, and trick-or-treating and all that good stuff. It's a pretty funny episode, actually. Well, I think it's funny. But.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Anyway,
stay classy, Kansas City.
Bye.
Hey, you made it to the end of the episode. Congratulations. Hit that like and subscribe button. Leave some comments for us, and tell your friends about us.
What just happened?
I don't know.